We are living in extraordinary times. Israel finally sent the IDF troops back into Gaza, into the southern city of Rafah, to finally destroy Hamas and save our captives, even though the Biden administration, our greatest ally, has been doing everything to stop us from doing that. And on top of that, the Biden administration literally just betrayed us, Israel, an ally, their only reliable ally in the Middle East, by conspiring with an enemy, Hamas, Iran, Qatar, against us. And those are an enemy with the same aims to destroy America, not just destroy Israel. And if that's not enough, the Biden administration is also now withholding weapons from Israel. As the headline reads, Biden withheld bomb shipment to Israel out of fear it could be used in Rafah. We're at war against Iran and they're withholding bombs from us? It's insane. If anything, the Biden administration is doing a great job at convincing Israelis that we, Israel, can no longer rely on our alliance with America. And we in Israel have to grow some healthy independence for this alliance so that we can't be betrayed like this. So what happened? What took so long for Israel to finally go into Rafah, something we should have done more than 3 months ago in order to save our captives and end the evil Hamas? Why did it finally happen now? And what in the world took place with Hamas announcing via the world media that they had agreed to a ceasefire? Well, let's start by saying this. If we thought that the Biden administration backstabbing of Israel couldn't get worse, it just got much, much worse. And kudos to Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu for not buckling to the insane, evil pressure of the Biden administration. The only reason we didn't send the IDF to finish the job in Rafah months ago is because of the tremendous pressure from the Biden administration this whole time, pressuring Israel to capitulate to all of Hamas's demands for a ceasefire and threatening Israel with punishments if we wouldn't capitulate to their demands. We are so blessed to have Prime Minister Netanyahu as Prime Minister, the only realistic Prime Minister option in Israel who knows how to stand tall and firm, not just in fighting our enemies, but against the horrific pressure from the Obama-Biden administration, and to diplomatically finesse them while still succeeding in moving forward with the war now that we have to fight, even though the Biden administration is still stopping us from fighting it. A war that is the most just war in the world, necessary for us in Israel to ensure that no October 7th massacre ever happens again from Hamas, and that we return our captives, those who are alive and dead. The fact that the Biden administration is betraying us, Israel, U.S. and an ally, and instead helping our enemies and stopping us from doing what any self-respecting country would do to protect its citizens is just plain evil. Now let's take a step back and understand what exactly happened. So let's go back. On Friday, I think, Israel reopened the Erez border crossing from Israel into Gaza, as the Biden administration pressured us to do, in order for more humanitarian aid to get to Hamas in Gaza. Now, this is the same Erez border crossing that Hamas attacked on October 7th, killing our IDF soldiers who manned that IDF base crossing and destroying the base. Hamas immediately attacked the base on Sunday, killing a number of IDF soldiers and injuring others. Don't act surprised, but soon after this Hamas attack on an IDF base, that, again, this base is used to help Hamas, get them aid, an attack that killed IDF soldiers, the Biden administration pressured Netanyahu again to open up that same base to give more aid in order to send it to Hamas in Gaza. Biden doesn't care about the fact that Hamas is biting the hand that is feeding it, attacking this base that is used for humanitarian aid to them, and killing IDF soldiers. No, Biden just cares about giving the perpetrators of the October 7th massacre humanitarian aid and making Israel look bad. My guess is that after Hamas attacked the crossing base, killing IDF soldiers on Sunday, together with the fact that Hamas said no to the latest ceasefire deal, that Israel basically capitulated to all of Hamas's demands due against the immoral pressure from the Biden administration, that with those two things together, it finally pushed the Israeli war cabinet to give the green light to send the IDF into Gaza once again with the attack on Rafah. Thankfully, the spirit and motivation of the IDF soldiers is sky high, as there are so many video clips coming out of Gaza right now, or before going in, showing their spirit, knowing they're going in for the right reasons. And now, Look at this clip of IDF forces back at the southern end of Gaza flying the Israeli flag as they drive by the border with Egypt. Now, almost immediately after Israel sent in the first IDF forces into Gaza, Hamas put out a press release, reported upon all over the world, that it had agreed to the ceasefire, basically showing the world that Israel is the bad guy saying no to the ceasefire. Everyone was totally confused. Even I and everyone in Israel, well, they're like, what's going on? The anti-Netanyahu media in Israel went into a panic attack with horrific reporting, automatically blaming Netanyahu for killing the ceasefire deal for political reasons. So what really happened? Well, this headline says it all. Israeli officials. The U.S. knew about changes to ceasefire deal, but it didn't brief Israel. And as reported by Axios, CIA Director Bill Burns and other Biden administration officials who are involved in the negotiations knew about the new proposal but didn't tell Israel. The Israeli officials also said the last touches on the proposal were made on Monday morning in Doha with the Biden administration's knowledge. On Monday morning, Burns spoke on the phone with Israeli Minister of Defense Yoav Gallant. A source with knowledge of the call said, but when Hamas released its statement, the Israeli minister was also surprised. Two Israeli officials said the feeling is that Israel got played by the United States and the mediators who drafted the New Deal and weren't transparent about it. Between the lines, two Israeli officials said that Israel is deeply suspicious that the Biden administration gave guarantees to Hamas through the Egyptian and Qatari mediators about its key demand that a hostage deal will lead to the end of the war. We see quite clearly that the Biden administration's backstabbing of Israel just got even deeper. That whole ceasefire fiasco that Hamas agreed to, it was orchestrated by the Biden administration. They are literally working together with Hamas, Iran, and Qatar against Israel, trying to make us look bad and stop us from finishing this just war against Hamas in Gaza. Understand, I've said this before, this Biden administration is evil. Netanyahu's #1 goal is not just to defeat Hamas, but to survive the evil backstabbing Biden administration until election time, since every day of this administration is a danger to Israel's existence. It's insane because they are working hand in hand with our enemies. Understand, we, the Jewish people and the Jewish state of Israel, will survive this backstabbing of the Biden administration. Nobody should ever forget, the Bible is clear. Those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. Biden and his administration, including the Jewish people in his administration, have chosen the wrong side. They chose to support evil. Bad choice. They are forgetting the lesson of history. Never take on the Jews. You take on the Jews, you take on God, and you end up losing big time. Now, I want you to be inspired by this scene of our IDF soldiers being blessed before entering into Gaza, as they went into Rafah, to destroy the evil Arab Muslim enemy responsible for massacring our 1,200 plus innocent Jews on October 7th. If Biden and his administration truly didn't want to see the destruction and refugees in Gaza, then all they would have to do is send the genocidal Gazans to Egypt, because there are no innocent Gazans. Just watch this video I did months ago. All Gazans either took part or celebrated in the horrific October 7th massacre. They are all Hamas, and that's all part of the radical Islam that they believe in. Biden should be pressuring Hamas, Iran, and Qatar to return our captives. He should have done that October 8th and tell our enemies never to attack Israel again. But he hasn't been pressuring them, he's been pressuring us. This is what the Biden administration should be doing instead of siding with our enemies, because if they really cared about peace, justice, and saving lives, they would be doing that. In the meantime, we, the proud King David-like warriors of Jews today in our ancestral homeland Israel, will do what we have to do despite the world pressure and the Biden administration's pressure against us. And God above, please watch over our holy IDF soldiers, because they are not just protecting the Jewish people in Israel, they are fighting on the front line for the whole freedom-loving world against the growing Marxist Islamist revolution out to destroy the whole freedom-loving world. This is Avi Abelov signing off for another belief-based, inspiring, politically incorrect Pulse of Israel episode. If you are not yet a subscriber, go to pulseofisrael.com and click to subscribe. And if you support the work we're doing, you want to help us get our videos seen by more people, click on the donate button every once in a while. Shalom, everybody, and remember, Am Yisrael Chai.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.